Hi and welcome back to the Big Knit Energy YouTube channel. My name's Sammy and this is episode 23 of my knitting podcast. It's been a little bit since I've podcasted. Maybe this is like the fourth weekend since I've filmed. Normally I film every other week. But my sister was visiting me and she was helping me do some stuff around my house. And then the next week I unfortunately lost my dog that I've had for 10.5 years, which I'm probably not going to talk about too much because I don't want to get emotional. And so yeah, that put us to this week. It'll probably be a while again before I film because I'm going to be working a lot of hours for the next few weeks. So it might be about the same sort of time gap. But I do have a finished object and a couple new cast-ons or whips, and I have some sewing stuff to show you guys. And I'm wearing my Salty Air tee that I think was a finished object in the last episode, but I really like this. Yeah, we'll start with my first finished object. So this is my Oslo hat. I left both the labels over there. This is the Oslo hat pattern by Petite Knit, just the regular version. And I think I knit a adult small. I think I knit an adult small. And this is knit with 2 fingering weight yarns held together. I used 2 sock yarns from Cascade Heritage. And one is just regular Cascade Heritage, the solid green, and the other one is Cascade Heritage Wave, which is like a zobber ball type thing, or like, you know, it's multiple different colors applied together. So you get kind of that fractal look. So this is, I mean, it fits me. It's a little tight though. I'm probably going to give this to my niece because it's never really that cold here, so I don't actually wear beanies very often. So maybe she'll like it. I don't know, we'll see. I really like this pattern because it definitely looks like a beanie you could buy, and I think since I use sock yarn and stuff, it's machine washable with that superwash and nylon. I think it's a good gift, so I might make more of these closer to Christmas time. We'll see. First finished object. Oh. Okay, so for the next one, this is a new cast on. This is my Alpenglow by Andrea Mowry. I'm going to try blocking it because, as you can see, it's like rippling up a lot and I'm a little concerned about that. So I'm actually knitting this with fingering weight yarn, even though the pattern calls for sport weight. But I was doing pretty good at keeping my color work loose other than right here, because I think I had a really small cable at the time, so I accidentally made it too tight, so I'm a little concerned. So I'm going to try blocking it and see if it looks funny still. But for this, for the pink on top, I used Mace of Skeins Club Base in the colorway Cupid. This is a fingering, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. This was a Valentine's colorway from this year. And so that'll be the collar and I think the cuff on the sleeves. And then the next color is supposed to be fuzzy, like 2 mohairs or Surrey alpacas or cashmere laces or cashmere silks held together, but I just used this, what is this called? Wandering Flock merino single. It's 100% superwash extra fine merino. It's a fingering weight, single ply in the colorway Icy Lavender. And this is so the pink was left over from my Penelope tee that I knit, and this is left over from my Stephen West shawlography. And the next color, the main color, is this minty green, and this is from Bird Street Yarn, and this is the colorway Chiffon. This is a 4-ply 75/25 superwash merino and nylon. And the contrast color, which hopefully the lighting is good enough that you guys can see it all right. Oops. The contrast color is from Little Wing Fibers, and it's this really pretty, like, soft variegated, and it is the colorway Save the Day from the Shoujo Heroes collection, and it is says LW fingering as the base, and it's 100% fine superwash merino. And this is her label. So I like the way these colors look together. It is a little lower contrast than I expected on this main color. I did not swatch. I'm knitting the size 3. But yeah, so I'm gonna block this. I already have it on my barber cord or try-on cord or whatever you want to call it. And I took out my metal beginning of round marker and put a plastic one in. So I'm gonna block this, and hopefully it kind of smooths out and isn't all ripply right there. And then kind of go from there. I do like the color. I like it even though it's low contrast. I think it's still really pretty. And then my next whip is this all over color work. I really like color work, but I gotta be honest, this is a lot of color work. And I'm getting close-ish to being done with the yoke. I think maybe another 2 inches and then I'll be done with the yoke. It is a lot of stitches. I think I have 400 stitches on the needles right now, because I am making this with about 10 inches of positive ease, which I've never done with a circular yoke sweater before. So hopefully it works out good. And this is a pattern I'm designing, so it doesn't have a name yet really, but I knit a little rolled collar because I've never done that before, but I actually really like the way it looks, especially with this kind of rustic-y yarn. I'm knitting this, it's not super rustic, but it's kind of a woolly yarn. This is Knit Picks Palette, and it's supposedly a fingering weight yarn, but it's a very like fluffy, I don't know if it's woolen spun, fluffy 2-ply, and it's very like springy. I'll show you the label in a second. So I honestly think you could probably make this with like a sport weight or a DK even. But I'm knitting this on US 6. It's my favorite needle size, I'd say, is US 6. I also like US 4 and 5, but probably US 6 is my favorite. That's why I think you could definitely make this with a DK weight. Depending on what DK weight you use, it might be more dense, but I like to have my fabrics pretty lightweight. So because the sun's over there, the light's over there, I can see through this fabric a good amount, but because it is so woolly, I think it's going to be really warm, especially because you have like that double layer from having floats everywhere. My floats actually look kind of pretty. Here are my floats so far. What else to say about this? this is how it's looking so far. I do have my knitting needles in there. So like I put a barber cord in there so that it could stretch out so I could try it on. But I also left my knitting needles on, which I know people say you're like not to do that because it could pop off, but I don't care. So this is how it's looking so far. I'm definitely gonna knit another one of these in a different yarn to see how it is. I think I'm gonna use Pearl Soho linen quill because that's like, palette is super affordable. Linen quill is like medium, I would say. That's pretty similar actually because linen quill comes in 100 gram skeins. So I'm gonna probably knit another one in linen quill in more muted colors. This is like a really deep like fall to like early winter colorway to me. Maybe just straight winter. I love green, so I'll show you guys the yarns now. But if you have any questions about this, definitely like leave a comment below and I'll answer you about it. And if you want to be a test knitter for this, I'll probably, because like I said, I'm going to be working a lot for the next month. I don't know if I'll be able to finish the body in one sleeve. Maybe I'll do a testing call for this late October if I'm lucky. We'll see. But yeah, if you like all over color work. It is simple though because I only do 2 colors at a time, so you never have to be fiddling with 3 strands. This is kind of like my comfort zone with color work. And for the colors, I have Shire Heather. This is palette. I have Spearmint. This one is called Douglas Fir. This one is Dove Heather. Oh, my bad. This is not Dove Heather. This is Finley Heather. I think Dove Heather might even be more cool toned. And this is Indigo Heather. So this is my colors. I bought these so long ago, but I was like, had a really bad mental block on actually starting this. I had a clear vision, but like, it seemed like a lot of work. So it took me forever to actually get started. So I'm literally just on paper drawing up the color work charts and doing math and then, you know, working it out. So this does have some short row shaping. I am a lady with bad posture and I like to have short row shaping. The next one I knit, I'm going to knit a size smaller to try and just another chance to work out some more maths because it's kind of hard to do the math when instead of just going for like inch measurement, I have to also make sure I have the right number of stitches for the color work repeats. So I didn't choose an easy first pattern to write, but this is the label, and these come in 50 gram balls, I think. Yeah, it's 231 yards for 50 grams. It is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. It says hand wash, dry, flat. I don't know if it's super wash or not. It might not be. Yeah. Also, if you have name suggestions, let me know. And then, so I like barely cast this on. I cast on a, yeah, you can't even tell. I cast on a Cumulus tee, and I hated the way the fabric was, so I stopped and stole the needles out for something else. So I think I just wanted the cable. I don't know why, I just really hate the way the fabric looks. If you guys have pattern suggestions to knit with Shibui Pebble, which is a light fingering weight, let me know, because I have a lot of it and I don't know what to use it for. So I think that's it for knitting, but I do have sewing, so I'll start with a sewing finished object. This is a little drawstring project bag I made. I just wanted to try quilting, so I used some little watermelon fat quarters and made like a little star square. I made them both different and learned about color placement because this one doesn't look like a star due to the colors and this one does. So good to know. I also tried to make a pocket on the inside and it didn't turn out very good. And then I made just a little drawstring out of like cotton yarn that I braided. So it works pretty good. It was a fun learning experience. I had learning about making bags, learning about quilting. So I really enjoyed this and I will use this even though it is not the prettiest thing. I still like it. And then I made a hot pad, like an oven mitt, but just the pad one, so you can either set it on the table at the counter or whatever and set hot dishes on it, or you can use it to grab stuff out of the oven. I made that for my dad, so I'll put a picture up because I already gave it to my sister to take up to him. Oh, I had another knitting finished object too, I forgot. I made my dad a beer cozy. I used Nitty Natty's can cozy pattern, or whatever it's called, can cozy I think, out of some leftover sock yarn that I have, and I'll also insert a picture of that. It was his birthday, so I just wanted to make him some little things that I thought he would use. Yeah. My next sewing finished object, I'm calling it finished. It still needs a drawstring, but this is another project bag. I don't know if you guys can see, but I made this one wider. Both of these have box bottoms, but I made this one wider just because I thought the proportions of this looked weird. So I made this one wider and I really, really like the way that it's shaped a lot better. And I also changed up the way I did the drawstring channel. And oh, I got some needles in there. This is actually what I've been keeping my Alpenglow in. And it still needs a drawstring. I'm just going to use black cotton. But this is another little fat quarter bundle. I got both of the fat quarter bundles at Joann's. And then this pink fabric is fabric I got a while back. I showed it here on the podcast, but I didn't know what I was going to use it for. And same with the lining fabric. But it actually ended up kind of reversible, which is cute because I love this fabric that's on the inside. So all of the fabric is from Joann's. I'll show you guys my Alpenglow in there. There it is. And now it's kind of fat and stands up. I like these flimsy bags because you can scrunch them down and put them in your purse. I also love this guy's little face right there. And yeah, I just think this is really cute and I have fun with it. Oh, and the pattern I'm using is out of a book. It's the book is called Quilt Club, which I also got at Joann's. Next sewing finished object I have is a dress. I guess maybe I'll have to insert a picture of me wearing it because I don't know how to show you guys otherwise. I know I said I was going to make the hinterland. No, not the hinterland. The Aeronite pants out of this fabric, but I just got kind of nervous about making pants with 100% cotton fabric, and so I decided not to. I just assumed they would be wrinkly all the time. And this is forget what this dress pattern is. This is the Sweet Summertime dress from Sew to Grow. I just omitted the cap sleeves, and I also added pockets. So this is the dress. I made my own bias binding out of the fabric. It's got busted darts and a couple pleats in the skirt, and I did a really bad job with the zipper, and that was the only color I could find. And here are my pockets, which I just used a fat quarter of 100% cotton to sew in. Now, if I do a good job, I will insert a picture or a little footage of me wearing this dress. It's a little baggy, but I don't mind. I don't really like wearing tight clothing anyway, so yeah. But it's really cute. I like the way it turned out, and I'm glad I didn't make the pants. And this looks really cute with mint green and purple and light blue, so it looks really good with my ranunculus. So all the colors I want to make things in. You know what? I need to make myself some coasters. Oh, and then I have 2 more of these squares. I don't know if you can see there's another one on the board. I just hung it up there because it was cute. So I have 2 more of these. So maybe I'll make another bag or something. I really want to sew myself a backpack. Where did I put my magazine? Oh, dude, I cannot remember where I put that, but I got the Jacqueline Cieslak like book or collaboration with Pom Pom magazine, but I don't know where I put it. Anyways, the main reason I got it is because I wanted the wool fork dress pattern. So I have that here. This is really thick paper, so I might get some tracing paper to trace it on instead of cutting this out. But yeah, I just really wanted to make a wool fork dress. I have some like chocolatey brown linen that I want to make it out of, with pockets, of course. I just thought it would be really cute with all my tees and sweaters over top of. And I'll probably make more in the future because it's just a really like comfy, relaxed fit. So there's that. Just dropping everything. Next up is my, what month? September Yarnable. So it's like the middle of September, so you guys have probably seen this. So the theme is Laughs More, Worry Less. Comes with a marshmallow mug topper. That's adorable. So right here, I don't know how to use it. I guess you just squeeze it out on top of your stuff and it just melts on there. So it does have an expiration date. It expires in like 2 months, so I'll have to keep that in mind. And then I also have s'mores something. It's like it makes like a s'mores dip to go with graham crackers. Well, now I kind of want to make that. Okay. And then it came with this cute little notions bag, which has 2 pockets. And I really like that. That's really cute. I don't really use notions pouches that much though, because I don't have that much notions. Oh, this would be really good for putting my fixed circular needles in here actually, because I don't have very many fixed circulars. I almost exclusively use interchangeables, but I have some smaller circumference fake circulars, so, and I've been getting more of them, so I think I should put those in here. And last but not least, we have the skein of yarn. And here she is. It says, laughs more, worry less. I get the plush sock base, which is 85 superwash merino 15 nylon, 437 yards per 100 grams. And I think Yarnable is open or will be open soon. So go sign up to be notified if you want it. I keep thinking I'm gonna cancel, and then I keep liking the next colorways, so. They've only had one that I skipped, one that I wish I'd skipped. And then like one that I'm indifferent about. I've liked all the rest of them. And then I have this beautiful bag. I think Phoenix or Crafted by the Fates bought me this, but it is from the Skein Witch, and all her bags are already sold out, so you cannot get them right now, but she will be making more. And this is so cute because it folds into like a little project bucket, or you can wrap the straps around and button them so that your project doesn't fly around all willy-nilly. And it snaps, but it has little buttons over the top that look like spiders to decorate it. The outside fabric is like this old school Halloween candy print. It's super cute, and she used contrasting orange thread, also super cute. It has a little pocket with also a snap on the inside. And then she gives little lavender sachets. Adorable. I don't know how she's so cute, but she is. And I absolutely love this. And then it is like a neon tie-dye on the inside. I have another bag from her that I showed either in the last episode or a couple episodes ago, but she does such a nice job with these, and this is a small size and it can fit 2 skeins, and the idea is that you can like walk and knit because this just hooks on your arm and then carries your skeins while you knit, and I really like that. I can't wait to use this. I'm trying to think of what I can cast on just so I can use this, because I kind of like my project bags and the projects to go together a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. So yeah, that was a gift. And the only thing that I actually bought, and I bought this a while back. I'm trying to remember, whenever Aro Knits and Pearls did her last D-stash, and this is 3 skeins of Woolberry Fiber Co. Peachy Keen colorway in the base Berry Cormo. It's 100% non-superwash US Cormo, and this is a fingering weight, so I think it's 400 yards per 100 grams. There's a misprint on the label, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't know when this colorway is from. All I know is I have been talking about how I needed some peach yarn, and I have been wanting to try Berry Cormo for a while. So, also this is the first time I ever bought something from a D-stash, and Aro shipped it out so fast. It got here like 2 days after I bought it from her, so. And I don't know what I want to make with this. I have 3 skeins, so I'd like to make a cardigan probably. and I really like the texture of it. So I don't know if I should hold it with a mohair or anything. Plus I want to keep the color integrity. The only thing is Rowan has a new like super peachy mohair, and I wouldn't mind holding it with that to make it peachier, because I feel like this might be like too close to my skin tone. I don't know. But I don't know if 3 skeins of fingering weight is enough for a cardigan that's not like cropped and stuff. And I kind of would like it to be a cardigan with pockets. So I don't know. Pocket placement is hard too. Pocket on crop doesn't work for me because then you have to go like this. Anyways, that's the only thing that I bought, because is that the only thing I bought? Well, it's the only yarn I bought. The Yarnable is a subscription, so I didn't choose to buy it this time, so I'm gonna not count that one. And then I bought a book. So, I've been feeling like I have no knitting energy, I have no social energy. Losing my dog really kind of took it all out of me. And you know, I was trying to save her, so I do have a big vet bill too. So if you're one of my friends that's a small maker, or a small business that's a maker, and I'm not like supporting you as much, that's why. Or if you guys don't see me with a ton of acquisitions like normal, that's why. Or I don't have a lot of progress, or I don't post videos very often. She was really, really special to me. So, yeah. Anyways, sorry for being a downer. That's all I have for you guys right now. Leave me a nice comment, please. I could use it. And until next time, have a good one.